Can you start off by telling me who you guys are and how long you've been married?
I am Keesha Davis.
Chad Davis. We've been married for 3 years.
3 years. You want to tell the story this time?
No, you tell the story. Go on, tell the story.
Well, Eric Lockhart, your uncle, your daddy, contracted me in to host a couple of shows. And so I host events. And so one day I was working and I was talking about advertising because I had a radio show. And so Chad comes up to me and he says, Miss Keesha, I'm interested. And I was like, for business? And he was like, no, personally. And I was like, oh, it kind of, I was shocked.
You got to be more smooth than that. You got to say, I just came up to her and say, Keesha, my name is Chad, and I'm interested. Got to be smooth.
You was very smooth. You shocked the mess out of me, and I was like, okay. But I was working, so we didn't talk after the show. And then the next show, we seen each other again. And you talked to me again. And I did not reciprocate. And then you came to Aunt Vicky's boutique. And he was on a motorcycle. I was like, oh, okay. It was good to see you in a different element. But we still didn't talk then either. And then the last lavish lounge, he said, Miss Keesha, come go to breakfast with me. And so I was like, okay. So I get in his truck, had a big old nice truck too. I get in his truck and we're in line, it's in traffic. And I heard the Holy Spirit say, don't go, you're gonna mess it up. And I was sitting over there like, it's just breakfast. I'm having this whole like head conversation. I'm like, it's just breakfast. And he was like, no, don't go, you're gonna mess it up. So I had to tell this man after he, was very persistent. And I had to tell him, it's 2 reasons I can't go with you. And one of them I can't tell you. I said, can you please go get my car? And he was like, perfect gentleman. He said, okay. Got out of line, got my car. Did we hug? You was probably mad at me. Did we hug?
No, I hugged you.
Okay, I think you did. Hugged and...
I was pissed. I wasn't pissed off, but I was like, I'm done with this woman.
So I got out and got my car. Then, that was in December. So then in January, what I thought about? When did you? Valentine's, he bought me a plant and put it at my salon door. I still got that plant too. And I called him and told him thank you, and we talked, and he was like, Happy New Year, Happy New Year. And he said, remember, when you want to go to dinner, let me know. And I was like, I'm ready. And he was like, for real? We were texting. He called right away, and that Monday, he said, you like live music? That Monday, we went to dinner, went to see live music, and the rest is history.
What was the restaurant?
It was what's the name of the Asian place? With the spicy salmon?
Bangkok.
Bangkok in Dallas? Yeah, and we went to see the Funky Knuckles. Uh-huh. And then we went wine tasting. We had a whole night. It was a whole ordeal.
Yeah, but tell them the truth why you kept putting me out. Just tell the truth.
I was not in the best headspace. Now, EJ, you know how, everybody can attest to this, you know how you are finishing up with somebody? You know what I mean? I was at a place where I didn't want to open up another door without that door being fully closed. So I made sure that door was fully closed because I was like, man, I want something great. I was like, I want a great relationship. So that's the reason why.
Yeah, about to miss out on all this.
Don't try it. Because remember when he first saw me at Jerome's grand opening, Eric and Jerome's, the barbershop, yeah, you didn't want to talk to me because I had reddish hair.
Hey, I didn't know if she was the fun girl or if she was serious. I didn't know.
Now, you was about to miss out on all this.
No, you missed out on all this.
It was really genuine. It was we didn't have to try, or for me, I didn't have to try. Everything just came naturally, and he communicated well. He talked. And I was excited because he did not want to end the night.
Huh?
I'm saying, like, you wanted to, like, after we left, you wanted to go to wine, or maybe you did want to end the night.
Oh, I thought you meant, being nasty.
I was not being nasty. Like, I mean, we was enjoying each other's company. The night lasted. Didn't it? It was a long night. Like, we just sat up and just talked. So that was Rick. I mean, he's a very handsome guy already. But he was such a gentleman. And I was like, oh, he's cute and he can communicate.
So what stood out to me was, watching her do her hosting and radio show. She always had a very bubbly and welcoming personality. And I said, man, I just want to know if this is for real. So that first date, I was like, this is really her. And I was like, might have you something here. So that was very impressive to me.
So the second day, we were talking about the cake bar. And he said, well, did you get some at the cake bar? And I told him I didn't. So he was like, I'll be off in a little bit. You want to go to the cake bar? And I was like, okay. So he picked me up. I didn't have no makeup on. Normally he see me like, all dolled up or whatever. I didn't have nothing on. I just had my big glasses on. My hair was halfway done. And he was like, can I ask you something you don't get offended? And I was like, sure, what? He was like, why you wear so much makeup? You look beautiful. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet.
Oh, Lord.
It's been really rewarding because that's one of the things that in having a partner, I wanted something that we could build together. We could help each other, on all fronts. So being able to add my element, and that's what you do. You're supposed to balance each other out. So as you said, a lot of times he's thinking about, of course, the details. You're talking about building a house and restoration of a house. So he's thinking about details. And I'm thinking about showing people all of the great things that he actually does. So it winds up working. So I like it. And I'm able to just be myself because that's the lane that I'm really great in. I'm a people person.
And the deal is that I'm so focused because you're trying to make somebody else's dreams come to life. Mm-hmm. So, you got to pay attention to the details and the minute things. So, that's just.
I talked about it earlier about dealing with your stuff before you say I do. Also, having somebody that you really like, somebody that you have your core values that line up. Because oftentimes people wind up arguing and fussing about things because, you're Mormon and you're Catholic. I mean, I don't know, but I'm just giving an example. But so making sure that those core things line up and that you really have God in the middle of it. And, the bigger picture, what is your bigger picture? And within that, if you stay focused on what the bigger picture is, hopefully it is to build together, is to have a great life together, have a friendship together. And if you focus on that, then you'll be able to pick and choose your battles because some stuff is just not that serious.
My thing is I would probably say always try to better yourself. And always be nice to one another. If it's something that you or the other person is doing that the other person don't agree with, whether it's right or wrong, just stop. Pretty much just stop. And then lastly, I would say Don't try to be your spouse's everything. That's too much pressure.
That's good.
That's too much weight. Because if you're trying to be your spouse's everything, then you can't be you. Mm-hmm. We're just not designed that way. God has to be your everything. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
And keep you some friends.
Mm-hmm.
Keep you some. As my client would say, you need some partners. You need because you're a person that had. You talked about this before.
Yeah. So basically, you have, what makes up a person is their family, their friends, and so they had those relationships before they came into the marriage. And so you have to you got to keep cultivating those relationships to continue to be who you are. Mm-hmm. And when you try to isolate somebody, that's not good. That's not healthy. Mm-hmm. So I encourage her, it's not one of those things where, you got to be home at a certain time or I need you here. No, it's just, hey, I'm going to my mama's house. Have fun. They give me a chance to go sleep.
Positive relationships, though. It got to be positive relationships. Even if it's family, your friends, that have to be positive relationships that cultivate what you're cultivating. Because you don't want no negativity spewing in on something that you're trying to grow. So make sure it's positive relationships.
But you need a little negative, too, because that reminds you.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, I'm so glad I'm married to you.
We've had a couple of them nights when we came home. Be like, babe, man, boy, I like you. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't single no more.
We've had a couple of them. Yeah.